Hey guys, sorry the video is coming late today, but I'd like to go ahead and jump right in talking about Art of War. I love this book, and actually the one that's posted in your course files is a collection of others as well. But I want you to become familiar with Sun Tzu's Art of War. Sun Tzu is one of those guys that, yeah, he lived a long time ago, but he was so smart. He was so smart in what he had to say about um, war and strategy, planning, using what you've got, even if it's not, um, you know, the optimum group of guys or girls or both. Um, but he did it so well that people still to this day, I can guarantee you, every leader of every country has read Sun Tzu's Art of War. You got to. If you don't, guess what? You're going to lose. You're going to lose the war. You're going to lose a bunch of battles and the war if you don't read Sun Tzu's Art of War. That's how good his plans are, his strategy, everything. And you know, when you read it, you think to yourself, that makes 100% complete sense. And sometimes you may say, that makes 100% no sense. And then you read a few lines later or the next chapter and you realize, wait a minute, that did make complete sense. This guy's a genius. Yeah, he was a genius. I don't know what his IQ was, but let me just run through the chapters with you. The laying of plans, that's in the, I don't know if you could even call these chapters, but that's the first section, is the laying of plans, where he lays out those five conditions, the moral law, heaven and earth and all that. Then waging war, attacking by stratagem, tactical dispositions, energy, strong and weak points and strong, sorry, maneuvering, variation in tactics, the army on the march, terrain, the 9 situations, very, very cool. The attack by fire, and the use of spies. Now, I gotta tell you, you're gonna read through some of this, and you're probably going to say that some stuff sounds a little bit familiar. Who could it sound like? I don't know, maybe like Kyrgyz? Yeah. Some of the stuff that he talks about is kind of that, you know, ahead of his time kind of stuff, like Kyrgyz, father of Sparta, which some people don't even say that he was a real guy. That's what some people say about Sun Tzu, by the way. Was he real? You know, did a bunch of really smart guys just get together and put it together and call themselves Sun Tzu? And some say, yes, he was absolutely a real person. Does it matter? When you have a book that contains the actual art of war, does it really matter? I mean, clearly this is something that I think is very, very cool. And mainly because it's not because so much that it was artistically written. It's not written to be entertaining, although I think it's entertaining, but it is written to instruct. So let me give you just a little bit of a background. And I've got a video for you guys to watch. Maybe I won't give you that background. I'll just let you watch the video. It's actually pretty cool. But it gives a little bit of, the video will give a little bit of background into, you know, how do we know that this is the way to go? How do we know Sun Tzu? This is way back in his day when he's still around. How do we know that these are the plans that we should follow? How do we know that that these are the best laid plans to win this war? And so they actually would. I don't know if it was the people that were having him write these plans down or if he gathered them, but somehow I just don't remember. But they would gather concubines, so prostitutes, um, and they would actually have them like practice some strategies, and sometimes, they would be beheading one another, but they would, they would practice, and I guess he had them practice till they got it right. I don't know. I don't remember all the details there. Even I'm not even trying to pronounce, um, but it's actually pretty cool. Let's talk about those influences, though. Absolutely, like I said, leaders of countries. I can guarantee you they've all read this book. If if I was the betting kind, I would lay money on it. It's just kind of, they swear you in, they give you the book, right? Um, they give you two books. They give you the Bible and they give you the Art of War. You need both to go into a leadership role. But beyond that, let me tell you who else has probably read this book. For one, I can guarantee you Donald Trump has read this book, and not because he is our president, um, because he is a successful businessman. And this book, The Art of War, the strategy that he lays out, plans that he outlines, what to do as far as, in this situation, this is the best way to handle it. This is the time to retreat. This is the time to move forward. This is the time to hide and then move forward. All these different, scenarios, they can really help a person in business, in the business world. So CEOs, CFOs, leaders of businesses, especially the big businesses, the Fortune 500 companies, the people that are in roles where they have to strategize. So I would say anyone that's involved in any sort of like trade sort of job, like on Wall Street and stocks and bonds and whatever gets traded out there. They have probably all read this book, or at least parts of this book, because it offers strategy that can be used in the business world. Now, where else can this be used? Schools, to control the schools, to conduct, your, or not conduct, but to, I hate to use the word control, but I guess it is in a way control. But to have the schools set up in such a way where there are leaders and followers. Anywhere there are leaders and followers, this would be a great book to read. Anytime you want to be successful when you are moving forward with something, this is a great book to read. It gives you not only motivation and incentive, but it gives you such basic information. Sometimes you're going to look at it and like, why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I write this great book? Because it's so basic. And then some of it, you're like, what did it take for him to come up with this? How does he know these things without having been one who was, someone that forged into every kind of battle imaginable? And he just knew how to strategize. He knew those secrets. And so as you read this book, and I want you to read all of Sun Tzu's part. You don't need to read any further than that, but it's interesting to read beyond that. But I do want you to read those parts that I just outlined for you, that Sun Tzu wrote. And I want you to be thinking about how those strategies can be used in simple, around the house kind of singular tasks, to, getting the job done, to, being the leader of a country. Anytime, like I said, there are leaders and followers, or where you have to or need to be in a role where it's a get her done kind of thing. I hate to use that term, but following a strategy is something that will help you get that job done. And so being able to discipline yourself in such a way that, Sun Tzu outlines in some of his, in some of these sections, it's great information to have. And if nothing else, it's great information to have. It's just pretty incredible. Even if you say, I'm never going to follow anything that Sun Tzu ever says, it's great just to read it because you appreciate the genius, the genius of Sun Tzu. I mean, he's quite an intelligent man. He was quite ahead of his time. And once people started realizing the truth and the what he wrote, the truth in his strategy, in his planning, in his outlining, then they really started giving him a lot of respect. And that's why it's one of the classics, is because it's something that today, of all the things that we've read, some of them, yes, older, some of them, yes, more entertaining, some of them, yes, have probably made more money, but this is probably the single most useful and most widely influenced or influencing piece of literature. Ada agrees. Straight from the dog's mouth. So yeah, it's pretty cool, that he was able to come up with all this and thinking of the different scenarios. And oh my goodness, rude. I guess we'll close it now. So I will see you. So sorry. Kata, I will see you Wednesday at our meeting, and maybe we'll talk about this a little further. Be thinking, influence, influence, influence. I want to hear your creative ideas at our Zoom meeting on Wednesday. So I'll see you then. Bye, guys.